do you have a list? He said, what do you mean? I said, do you have a client list? He said, well, yeah. I said, how many names are on that? Because he was looking for the new shiny object, right? Maybe I should do social media. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do something.
Everybody just missed all the secrets to the trade show for the Expo party.
And how big is that? He said, well, 10,000. So you have a list of 10,000. I said, what do you have? What information? Well, I have their home address. Did you have their phone number? Yeah. Email? Most of them. So why don't we start there? Right? Why don't we start there? Let's look at your list and see what we can do with that. Guy has a list of 10,000 and hasn't touched the list in years. Hasn't communicated with it. Why am I telling you that?
Right now he's talking about what you can do with your list.
There'll be 500 to 1,000 people, including the vendors, maybe more, who are going to be locked into a room for about 8 hours, all together, all on some sort of a mission, either meet people, sell stuff, whatever it might be. Your goal at that show is to, I'm going to tell you how to do this, but is to find the needles in the haystack that would have some sort of predisposed interest in what you have to offer. And I'll show you how to do it, it's not hard. Not try to sell your stuff, but simply try to sell the next step and build your list. And here's what's going to happen. Never mind, 600 booths. And granted, I didn't give my name to every booth. In fact, I was pretty stingy with it for fear they would just like bombard me with stuff. But the one guy who sent me the email, I can tell you the name of this company because he's the only one that contacted me. But he actually is working the list. I brought onto his list. We will buy from him, just so you know. We will buy. But he's actually working the list. So one of the things that you want to do at the Expo is you want to gather names, you want to gather information, and I'm going to say this very, very carefully.
Right now he's talking about how
who would have some sort of a likely interest to be predisposed to either buy and or potentially maybe recommend your product or service. You don't need everybody. You don't need everybody. 1,000 people there. In fact, I can tell you that for the most part, you don't need most of them. You just need the right ones. In order to do that, does anybody here know what a lead magnet is? Somebody does. Lead magnet? Okay, so this is like 102 stuff. But anyway, all we got to do is figure out who it is we want to communicate with at the Expo, and then we got to create some sort of a device or piece of information or some way to get them to raise their hand. And here's what most of the people in the Expo will do. They're going to set up a booth. They're going to put a big banner across the top. It's going to have a logo on it, right? And they're going to have a table in front of them, 2 chairs, and they're going to sit behind the table in the chairs and hope that people walk by and say, that is the most incredible logo I've ever seen. I'm going to stop there and see what they're selling, because this is just really cool stuff. That's what they're going to do, and you're going to see it. And some of them bought their, we're on Facebook Live, right?
we are.
Scratch that. But anyway, you're going to see people who spent thousands and thousands of dollars on their display so that they can make their logo as big as they can. And guess what? People walk by. When you've been to trade shows, you walk by, and you keep on going because there's no reason to stop. If I'm in the insurance business, and again, I'm using Debbie as an example. What is your name?
Maria.
Maria, and what's your insurance company?
Chapman Insurance Group. Chapman Insurance
Oh,
Group.
Chapman. Gotcha. Okay, you guys are pretty big. If I'm Chapman Insurance Group, I might have something across the back of my banner that says, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired of not hearing back from your insurance company and are on the hunt for somebody new? Now, who would stop there? Who would stop there?
The people that.
Somebody who's sick and tired of being sick and tired of not having somebody contact them about their insurance or whatever it is. So my comment to all of you is in these booths, number one, your logo is not a headline. Okay? It is not a headline. It might be really pretty. What you want to do is make a list of like the top 10 questions that when people call your office, when they call a Hampton Inn, when they call, what is your business? Dex Media. Okay, when they call Dex Media, what is your business? Military Heritage Museum. Okay. Trying to get you commercials on Facebook Live. And what is Exit Realty, right? When you're setting up your booth and when you're getting ready to figure out a way to attract people, what you want to do is make a list of like the top 10 questions people ask when they call Exit Realty. And you know that there are a top 10 questions, or 5 or 6. don't overcomplicate it. Make a list of those questions and then ask yourself, what's the biggest question people ask? You know, how fast can you sell my house? Maybe that's a question. Then I would have a banner in the back of my booth that says, want to know how fast we can sell your house? Stop here. Who would stop there? Somebody who wants to know how fast their house can be sold. Who would have stopped there? Someone who has no interest in selling a house, buying a house, or whatever. They'll keep
Right
walking
now,
by.
Rob is talking
You
about
have
how
be
to do a
comfortable.
trade show.
It's okay for them to just walk by. You don't, they're not going. It doesn't make them bad people. Doesn't make you bad people. It just means they are not for you. So what I would recommend. This is where the kind of 3% rule will take place. Does that make sense? That you would want to address the conversation that's already going in their mind instead of just showing off your stuff? If that makes sense to you, then what you want to do is make a list of those questions and/or statements, whatever it might be, get it across the top of your booth or somewhere, at least in front of your booth. However you can do that, so that people who actually have an interest in your stuff know that that's the stuff that you've got, and you can start communicating with them before they ever stop by your booth. But here's what's going to happen. I'm still going to walk through that show. There'll be 100 booths, and most of them are going to have a logo across the back. Nobody will actually have taken the initiative to actually enter the conversation or answer the question that's on the minds of most of the people who are walking by. And that's my challenge to you. And we're on Facebook Live, so I have to be kind of nice, but I told myself, let's not sugarcoat it tonight, because it's really important to me that you guys have success, and then you'll be in the show again next year. You're baked. Think of this as who fishes here? Right? I mean, if you're fishing for one kind of fish and you put the wrong bait on, you get the other fish. Is that how it works? I don't fish. I mean, wrong bait, wrong fish. If you want to catch a grouper, you use the same bait as a grouper. If you want to catch a grouper, you use this bait and this hook. If you want to catch this, you use this bait and this hook. Make a decision.
Yes, Darren, the guru is definitely at work.
And then make sure that you put out a bait that will attract them. What you can't do is try to attract everybody at the show. You know who your ideal client is, and again, if we had 2 hours, I would tell you exactly how to figure that out. But take a look at your ideal clients. What kind of questions do they ask? Have those answers ready. Make it clear that you have those answers, and give the people who would have an interest in your product or service a reason to stop and say, I want to answer that question. And there's actually 4 other ways that you could do that. But for tonight's purposes, in the spirit of time, start with a question. I'm hoping that when I walk through the expo, there'll be a whole bunch of question banners on your booths, but not on the ones for the people who aren't here. They're going to just have their logos there. Quickly, what are you selling? What are you selling at the expo? The next step. Just the next step. Don't try to sell your stuff. It's really hard to do. I mean, shoot, these people had no idea that you were even going to be there. They didn't really have it on their mind that they were going to buy that today. And now you think that you're just going to lock them up and convince them, today's the day, I'm the person, and now's the time. That's a pretty hard sell, even if you're me. Okay? Even if you're me. And I don't have a whole lot of fear. So, what you want to do is sell the next step. Ask yourself, what is the next step? What do you want? And then I'll tell the special agent Monarch Direct, I want a ton of appointments. So the next step after they talk to us is, gosh, can we set up a time to meet at some point in time in the future? Sure. We'll offer them, and you guys can come by our booth and you'll see. If you make an appointment with us, we're going to give you a shameless bribe. Gosh, if you make an appointment now and give us permission to come and see you for 15 minutes or come to the place, we're going to give you a $50 platinum ticket that you can use to buy anything you want to at Monarch Direct. No strings attached, even if that's all you spend. We're going to bribe them to go ahead and make an appointment. That's the next step in a Monarch Direct. Now, in your business, that might not be the next step. So what you're going to do is you're going to say to yourself, I'm going to ask people if I can have permission to call them. Hey, nice meeting you. Truly, it was cool talking with you. Would it be okay if I gave you a call next week? Sure. Great. Well, give me your card, and I will make arrangements to give you a call. Is there a better day of the week or a better time of day? Yeah, Wednesdays are really bad. And for what it's worth, they have no expectation that you'll actually really call, because nobody ever does. So how awesome would it be if you left the expo 5 o'clock at the end of the day and you said, this is pretty awesome. I've got 32 people who said that I could call them. They invited me to make the call. Invited guest as opposed to uninvited pest. No fun just to call people cold. You should never have to do that, by the way. That's a different workshop. But if you just said, I'm going to get permission for appointments, I'm going to get permission to make a phone call, and hey, if that's uncomfortable, if that's not what you do, then get permission to put something in the mail to them. Hey, would it be okay if I sent you more information about our thing, or the stuff that we do? Most people will say, sure. But here's what happens. When they give you permission, then you actually send it, the odds of them actually paying attention to it go up exponentially because they gave you permission, they said it was okay. That's that thing that guy said that he was going to send. Out of pure guilt, they'll open it up. So when you're making your plan for the expo, deciding what you're going to do, it's really important that you know what your next step is. In real estate, it's not like, hey, walk up to my booth, you want this one? It's only $637,000, but I could probably save you a little bit if you buy it today. That's not going to work, right? Gosh, it would be awesome if I could give you a call to get a little bit more information about your house so I can send you all the information that I have about your home. Is there a best address to mail to? That would be permission, right? You've started a relationship. And I mean, we could go on and on. Again, spare time, don't get to do that tonight. But ask yourself, what do you really want people to do at the show? What do you want them to do? What are you trying to accomplish? And if it's to sell my stuff or just to meet people, not good enough. Not good enough. It has to be something that you can measure and track. Quickly, your shameless bribe. Shameless bribe. If you struggle getting people's addresses or email addresses or contact information, it's really not very hard at all. And the quick example that I'm going to give you, and we tested this. It's powerful. You have to use it for good, not for bad, okay? Because once you understand just how powerful this tool is, you can use it to take advantage of people, you can use it to manipulate people, or you can use it to help people, okay? For tonight's purposes, and we're on Facebook Live, this is only so that you can help people, okay? That's the only way you use it. We call it the law of reciprocity. Does anybody know what the law of reciprocity is? Okay? It's probably one of the most powerful tools that there is. Now, I'm going to give you a really simple example, okay? 2 Girl Scouts, okay, sitting behind a table at a Publix. They got their cookies on the table. People are walking by.
This is an amazing trick.
Actually, it's their mother's asking the question. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Okay? People are walking by. Well, maybe on the way out. I mean, a few people are stopping by. Don't get me wrong. So, with mother's permission, I can help them sell a bunch more cookies. There's a better way to do this. Please. Here's what they need to do. Open up the box of this sticky
This
cookies.
is the
Get them on
law
the other side of the table. When people walk by,
reciprocity.
walk up. Say, take a cookie. This is the power of reciprocity. If they take the cookie, they're buying the bonus. They have to, because you just gave them something for free. They took the stinking cookie, okay? Now, the girls don't have to do anything. They're like, we can't just walk away. It's not fair. We took something from them, we haven't given anything back. And the law of reciprocity says, you guys all know how this works, says that we've got to keep the scales even. They gave me a free cookie. Only way I can even this scale is if I buy a stinking box of cookies. So, what do the girls do? They come out around the corner, they say, here, take a cookie. They take a cookie. Want to buy something? Okay. Right? Start selling cookies like there's no tomorrow. Why am I telling you that? It works on all of us. Anybody ever taken you out for dinner? Right? And then at the end of the dinner, it's like you're fighting to get the check, because if they take the check and it wasn't a very good dinner and you didn't like the people, you know what happens if they buy the dinner? You know what you gotta do? You gotta call them again like in a month to see if you can buy the dinner. It will bug you until it doesn't. It's the law of reciprocity. We like to keep things even. What does that mean? It means at your booth, if you want to positively help people and get them to do what you want them to do, then give them something. So what business is yours? Okay, gotcha. So maybe it's, 10, maybe it's something as simple as special report. 10 things you can do with your whatever that will get you this. Here, let me give you this. It's really good information, not trying to sell anything, but take this with you. Be sure to read number 7. Okay, because then we'll read number 7. Circle it if you really want to pay attention. And then you can say, hey, by the way, it'd be awesome if I could send you our other report. What's your email address? And see, you gave them something. You gave them something. All right. RobinMark.com. You got it. They have to because you gave them something. Or they're going to hand you the thing back and say, no, I'm good. I don't want your stuff. So anyway, that's the law of reciprocity. Deadline, if you want somebody to respond to something or do something, I'm going to give you a really quick demonstration of this just a little bit later. If you want somebody to make an appointment, this is really simple. If you make an appointment at the show, before you leave, here's what I'm going to do. I will come to your office, come to your house, you can come to our office, whatever it is, and if you actually show up, I'm going to give you a $10 Starbucks card. That's only for the people who actually make an appointment today. Now you have a deadline. You don't have to make an appointment today, but if you do, I'm going to give you a $10 Starbucks card, or a $25 Promise card, or a $50 whatever, or a $100 box of steaks, whatever it might be. Again, for tonight's purposes, it really depends on the value of your client. But if over the course of the day, if you give people some kind of logical reason that they should make a decision now, hey, you want this Starbucks card? Make the appointment now. Okay. Now, will everybody? No. A bunch of them won't, but some of them will. And so my advice to you, my recommendation is, look at your product, look at your service. In the spirit of time tonight, we can't go deep, but is there a way that you can create some sort of a deadline, either only this many, only this much, only this long? Think about deadline. If you have an offer but there is no deadline, you really don't have an offer at all. Really what you have is, here's some stuff, go think about that. And what we're trying to do, again, maybe move into real estate. Gosh, if you'll make an appointment to let us come and look at your home, if you'll make the appointment today, we'll do this for you. Of course, we'll still come and do your home, but if you do it today, this is what we're going to do. So, quickly, we talked about your logo not being a headline, entering the conversation. All of you should have a document, if you don't already. Remember I mentioned the top 10 questions? Or the 10 questions people ask. How many people have a document that has the top 10 questions and the answers that you can hand to people? Okay? 1. Right? But we know they have these questions. They always have the same questions. It's almost always the same 10. Yet, when they ask the questions or they're looking for information from you, what we do is we give them a shiny glossy brochure with a great big logo on it that doesn't answer any of the questions that they have. And when I say the top 10 questions, I'm not saying the top 10 questions that you wish they would ask. I'm talking about the top 10 questions they really ask. You know, they don't ask, do you have a CRP, GRP designation, and are you this, and this? They never ask that. What they ask is, how fast can you sell my house? How quickly can you make this happen? How much does it cost, right? Those are the things that they're asking. Those are the questions you want to have. And if you all have, assuming everybody here probably has a website, go look at, this is just a outside the Expo, go look at do you all have frequently asked questions on it? Okay? Go ask yourself, are they really frequently asked? Or did you just copy it from somebody else's website and change a couple things? Most of the time, those questions on those websites aren't the frequently asked questions. It's the down and dirty real questions. Okay? Those are the ones that you want to answer. And if you do, it will cause people to know you. It will cause them to like you a little bit more. It will cause them to trust you. And again, story for another day. Quickly. $72 hour. You got to move to that. It's on the back of your 72-hour rule. Here's the deal. They come to the show. 72 hours later, they will have forgotten. I don't care if you had the most amazing conversation, you talked about their grandkids and your grandkids, that's what we do now. Or you talked about, their golf game, your golf game, some other, something you had in common. 3 days from then, if you don't do anything, you've lost them. They will have forgotten you. Most of you can't remember people that you met just 2 days ago. If it was in a casual setting, you have to think really hard about that. Don't think that these people are any different. All that really means, and again, take this as a personal challenge. if you meet people at the expo, if you meet people tonight, there's some pretty cool people here tonight. You're gonna meet some more when we go on the other side. Make some sort of contact within 72 hours. And I wouldn't recommend you send an email that says, hey, it was nice meeting you, let me know if you ever need anything. That's not the best way to do it. If you want to like rock your business, I double dog dare you, within 72 hours at Expo, you write a note that says, hey, Cindy here from Dex. Awesome meeting you. Hope your dog gets better. I'll be sending you some pretty cool information here in the next few days. It truly was cool meeting you. P.S. That dress of yours that we talked about, I'm still on hunt for. Hand the address and put a stamp on it. Now, at the end of the expo, if you were to mail out, not to everybody, because we don't care about everybody. We don't need everybody. But to the people that you made some sort of a connection with, that showed some sort of interest, if the only thing you did was within 3 days, sent the handwritten thank you note, hey, it was cool meeting you. Thanks a lot for coming by my booth. I know it was kind of hectic. Call me sometime to buy something. I really don't care how you do it. But you put that into an envelope and you put it in the mail. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to have people who will send you a thank you note or sending them a thank you note for meeting them at the expo.
It's
It
so
happens
true.
all the time.
It works
And
so
how many
well.
people were in the expo last year? Okay, some of you. How many thank you notes did you get from the people that you talked to at the expo? Did you get a few? They must have been at the workshop. Smart people, good. 3%ers. If you do it, do you remember any of them? Do you remember one of them?
Yeah, I actually do. It was the Amatrans.
Okay. And why did I just do that? I mean, the guy was at the expo a year ago. He got a thank you note in the mail. He remembers who sent it. And it's been a year. We didn't rehearse that, did we? Then, what was your favorite email you got after the expo?
Honestly, the funniest thing was the redundancy of them and the fact that the majority of them were just, it seemed like they were just copying each other's responses. So.
Yeah. Do you remember any of those? I don't think so. In the spirit of time. Get out a pen. And here's what you can do if you want to. Start writing them tonight, okay, or next week. Write them all and have them already written. Hey, it was awesome meeting you at the expo. Looking forward to talking to you again. Leave the PS blank and put the personal part in the PS, right? You can have them all ready to go. All you have to do is put the addresses on, have the stamps all ready to go, and then just put them all in the mail the next day, and you will shock and awe everybody who gets one. But I can tell you that most people won't do that. You've got to do something within 72 hours. You've got to do something within 72 hours. Then, 1 week later, you've got to contact them again. Remember, these are people who raised their hand, said I have an interest. You talk to them, they ask for stuff. They're real potential buyers or members. A week later, send them that top 10 question thing that I just mentioned. Hey, again, it was cool meeting you at the thing. Just wanted, I don't know if you have any of these questions or not, but we get it a lot. Here's the top 10 questions we get and the answers. The real top 10 questions we get and the answers. And you put that in the mail to them. Don't ask them to buy anything. Don't ask them to buy anything. Wait about 2 more weeks. Contact them again. This time, ask for something. Why? It's the law of reciprocity. These people sent me a thank you note and they hand wrote it. Then they sent me this list of top 10 questions that actually was kind of interesting. How can I not give them an appointment when they ask? I may not want to give that appointment, I may not really get excited about it, but shoot, they gave me this stuff. Now I gotta do something. That's way better than hitting them cold. Now, we can do this like that. How many people in here are married?
Sorry for being so shaky.
Okay. Let me ask you if it happened this way. You're at Publix, right? And you were on one side of the store, okay? And you saw this woman on the other side, or vice versa, okay? And you said, you know what? That's her. That's the one of my dreams. No question, guys. I'm not wasting any time at all. I'm going to close the deal right now. Never met this woman. So you go charging across Publix, right? You walk right up to her and you say, you know what? Will you marry me? Okay. Now, maybe that works. I don't know. I haven't tried that personally. But let me ask you this. Why don't you okay, what kind of
mean, who knows? Maybe just run, maybe ignore, okay? I mean, you would never do that. Why? Because there's no relationship there. She would be shocked, or he would be shocked if you did that. So, I'm telling you that because in business, you gotta court them a little bit before you ask for the big deal, right? So, if the big deal is the appointment, don't just walk up and say, gosh, can we make an appointment and have me come to your house? And you say, why? That's like asking them to marry you. Right off the bat.
He's staring.
Take them out on a date first. Maybe see if you can for coffee. Okay? And then maybe lunch. What I'm suggesting is send them a text email. Okay? That's how nice they do. Send them a little bit more information. Maybe then send them an email. Maybe then
Is that better?
You can do this. Get permission to do something. Date them for a little bit before you just wrap your arms around them and say, you need to tell you anything. Nothing, anything at all. And when you're at the expo and when you're meet today,